Hey, welcome. You know that feeling when you're in a brainstorming session and it's just going nowhere? Well, if you've been there, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to ditch the usual think outside the box advice and really dig into some powerful, structured ways to solve those problems that just won't go away. Let's get into it. Oh man, we've all been in that room, haven't we? The energy is just flat. You're hearing the same arguments over and over again from last week and the week before that. It feels like you're just running headfirst into a brick wall, and honestly, it's super frustrating. And here's the thing, the issue isn't that people aren't trying hard enough or that they're not smart enough. It's that for the really tricky, complex problems, we're bringing the wrong tools to the fight. We need a totally new, more deliberate way to approach our thinking. So that's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to learn how to think about thinking. And no, that's not just some clever phrase. It's about using real, proven frameworks that guide our brains away from the usual traps and point us toward solutions that are genuinely new and, well, actually work. This right here, this is the whole game. A real breakthrough almost never comes from just trying to force a solution with more brain power. Nope, it comes from changing your angle of attack, from looking at the problem in a completely new way and breaking free from your own default settings. That's how you find the good stuff. So how do we actually start thinking differently? Well, we're gonna look at three incredible principles. First, we're gonna learn how to systematically change our perspective. Second, how to stop compromising and actually solve a core contradiction. And third, how to put the human being right at the center of everything we do. Okay, so our first tool is all about that first principle, changing your perspective. It's a classic for a reason. It's called the 6 Thinking Hats. It was designed to get teams to look at a problem from every single angle. But here's the key, to do it together. Now, the secret sauce here is something called parallel thinking. Instead of me arguing my point while you argue yours, the entire team puts on the same imaginary hat at the same time. That means for a few minutes, we're all looking at the problem with just the facts. Then we all look at it with just emotion. It completely changes the dynamic and takes all the ego out of the room. So let's quickly run through them. You got the white hat, that's for pure, cold, hard facts. No opinions allowed. Then there's the red hat, for feelings, gut reactions, and intuition. No need to explain why. The black hat is the critic. It's for poking holes and finding risks. The yellow hat is the complete opposite. It's pure sunshine and benefits. The green hat is where the wild, creative, out there ideas come from. And finally, the blue hat is like the director of the meeting, managing the process and deciding which hat we all wear next. It's an amazing way to see the whole picture without starting a fight. All right, let's switch gears. We're moving from managing perspectives to a really analytical framework. Tool number 2 is called TRIZ, and this thing is an absolute beast for solving those really stubborn technical and engineering problems. Okay, so TRIZ is a Russian acronym that basically means Theory of Inventive Problem Solving. And it's built on this mind-blowing idea. Pretty much any inventive problem you're facing, someone, somewhere, in some other industry has already solved a version of it. The creators studied hundreds of thousands of patents and basically created a cheat sheet of the universal patterns of invention. It's incredible. And this just perfectly captures the power of TREZ. See, most of us get stuck in trade-offs, right? We think, okay, to make this product stronger, it's gotta get heavier. TRIZ forces you to destroy that trade-off. It makes you ask, how can we make it stronger and lighter at the same time? That's the exact question that leads to breakthroughs like carbon fiber being used in everything from race cars to tennis rackets. It's about getting both and, not settling for either or. Okay, on to our third and final tool, which builds on that principle of focusing on the human. This framework is a really popular one, and it's called design thinking. Now, when you hear design, don't just think about making things look pretty. Design thinking is about solving problems the way a designer would. And that means it all starts and ends with the person you're trying to help. It's a process built on deep empathy, on obsessively trying to understand your user's needs, especially the needs they don't even know how to tell you about. So the process moves through 5 stages. You start with empathize. You go out and really understand your user's world. Then you define the actual problem you're going to solve. Next, you ideate, which is just a fancy word for brainstorming a ton of solutions. Then, and this is key, you build a really quick and dirty prototype. And finally, you get that prototype in front of users and test it. But here's the secret. It's not a straight line. It's a loop. You test, you learn, you go back, you refine, always keeping that user at the absolute heart of the process. So there you have it, 3 incredibly powerful frameworks. You can think of this as your brand new innovation toolkit. But the real trick is knowing which tool to pull out for which job. This pretty much breaks it down for you. Is your team just arguing in circles and you need to get everyone on the same page? Grab the 6 thinking hats. Are you wrestling with a nasty technical problem that seems impossible? That's a job for Triz. Or are you trying to build a new product or service that people will actually love? Then you start with design thinking every single time. So here's what to remember. These are not just theories, they are practical, hands-on tools. Use the HOTS for better meetings. Use Triz for that impossible technical problem. And use design thinking whenever you're building something for another human being. They give creativity the structure it needs to thrive. So remember that number, 3. The next time you feel that wall coming up, don't just say, let's brainstorm. Stop. You now have 3 powerful, structured alternatives to choose from. So I'll leave you with a question to think about. What's that one challenge at work or in a project that's been bugging you? The one that feels totally stuck? Now that you've got these tools, which one are you going to tackle first?